Good day, folks. This is Judy, Green Pastures Farm. You can see my grays where they were yesterday, where they're at today, and man, what a difference a week makes, or even a couple days for that matter. We got a half-inch of rain yesterday, and then this morning I woke up. I dumped the rain gauge yesterday, and this morning we had 1.5 inches overnight. That's the largest rain that we've had at one time in, I'd say, around 6 months. Yeah. And here we are, April 20th. This video may not come out till later, but hey, it's Easter Sunday. Came over here this morning to move the bulls onto their new paddock and the steers. And you know, God is good. He gave us a rain. Been praying for one. Right now is when you need it, folks. You need it. You need it in April if you're gonna have summer grass. And last year, you know, it was pretty darn dry, and I haven't seen water run like this in, gosh, a year. I mean, look at this. We're getting runoff. This is going into, some of this up on these hills is filling our ponds that desperately needed some recharge from the rainwater. I couldn't I'll show you. I went clear up to here on my, I got a little bit of water, but these rain pants, this is Alaskan, here it is. I'm just going to turn it around and show you what it is. There it is. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, it's Alaskan rainwear. It is good stuff. When it really gets with it, I bring out my heavy duty rain gear. I got the pants that match it and everything, and then I got my wonderful Isaiah boots. I love these Isaiah boots. A lot of people have tried them. Some of them have good luck, some of them haven't. I had nothing but good to say about them. Look at that water. So I took a step in post because I had to cross it down there. I mean, look at this. That water is 2.5, 3 foot deep coming down this channel right here. So you want to make sure you hop that. But when I came back across, of course, my post, you can see where they were at. I had to walk across the wide area down here. And so I made it. It kind of spreads out right here. But it's just nice to see some runoff, you know. We haven't had a rain, every rain we've got in the last 3 to 4 months. And I'm not going to complain about them, okay? They kept things growing. But they weren't those heavy rains. Last night we had a heavy rain. And believe it or not, they're saying chance of rain all day today. So, you know, when you get rain in the springtime, don't turn it down. Look at this grass. So this is the new farm that we, actually this is the 6 acres that we leased that hooks onto our big farm that we bought. And then Jan and I were able to buy the other 7 acres up here on the hill. And then our neighbor built a new house up there. We were able to lease his 13 acres. So altogether, we got 26 more acres added onto this farm. And yeah, no houses, livestock. I just think this is what this land was made for, you know? Yeah, you could put a house up there where that lone bull's eating. You could put one over here. You could put one up on this hill. I'll leave it right there. Not gonna happen. I want to show y'all something. I laid my reel down up here, and I could tell this manure pile had some serious action going on with it. So I just opened it up. Here it is. Look at check this out. They've actually left. A while ago, there was probably 100 of them in there. The earthworms. Oh, there they are. There's some. The earthworms. They're taking the manure pats down. They're working them over. And I just heard somebody the other day said they're going to go drag their pastures. Man, that's a waste of time. You have good soil biology, you don't need to be dragging your pastures. Look at that. See there, oh my God, there's a big old worm. When you have good pasture biology and you're not pouring everything on your livestock, all these chemicals, the ground critters will take care of it. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at them. They're just working it over. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. There's baby earthworms too. So I'm gonna close this back up. Let my pasture fertility tools go back to work. That's what's so neat about it, folks. It's all natural. We're not buying any chemical fertilizers, letting these critters do the fertilizing for us, and keeping the money in our pocket, and we're healing the land at the same time by not poisoning it. You start putting all this fertilizer, this purchased fertilizer, chemical fertilizer on your land, you're not going to have any of this. You kill these things, folks. Earthworms can't take a lot of the nitrogen, especially ammonium nitrate. Go out there and throw a couple handfuls on your yard before a big rain and go out there and see what it does. Yeah, you'll get a growth spurt, but you're also going to kill a lot of worms in that area. And we're not about killing worms, we're about growing worms. But yeah. So this hasn't been grazed for 3 years. We grazed it this winter. We unrolled hay on it, and then they didn't come back. So they were in here in the coldest part of the year, which would have been January, into January. And it was 30 below wind chill in here. But the bulls had this woods for a windbreak, get down out of the wind. There was snow. We had snow on for almost 3 weeks, which I know you guys up north are laughing at it, but for us to keep the snow on longer than 2 weeks is kind of an accomplishment. So I'm going to go up the top of this hill, and all I'm going to do, I laid my reel down there and let the animals in. Now I'm going to walk up to the top of the hill where it's hooked on cold. There's something going on in this one, I can tell you that. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at the worms. Yeah. Yep. I love the naysayers say this doesn't work. I love it. We'll just keep going. Let the naysayers do their thing. Folks, when you start doing things right, don't expect people to praise you. You're gonna have people cutting you down. You're gonna have people making fun of what you're doing. I've been having people making fun of what we're doing for 25 years. But it hasn't stopped me. Matter of fact, I want people to be talking about it. It makes them uncomfortable when you do something different than what they're doing. Oh, that stupid Judy's, look at them. They're out there moving that wire. They're out there moving that wire all the time. What in the world are they doing that for? Well, I can show you my neighbor's pastures where they're set stocked, and it doesn't look like this. It absolutely does not look like that. So it does come back to management. Folks, you got to move them. You got to give them the allocated amount of feed each day and forage and move on. So they're not going to be back here for, gosh, what is it, 40 days? Oh, that is a big, that's a buzzard. We saw an eagle over here yesterday. And he was sitting by a juvenile. It was solid black. But the big eagle, the daddy and mama had a white tail. The juvenile was still solid black. I like seeing eagles. People freak out about it. Oh, they're gonna kill this, they're gonna kill that. And I was like, nah, not if you have guard dogs. So I just untied my handle, just tied to the timeless. Look at that fence, folks. I mean, that's the best fence you can build. I mean, no fasteners, you just run it right through the hole. These are 5.5 footers. That's a 60-inch post. 5 times 12 is 6, no. I told you wrong. It's 5.5 feet, so it'd be 66 inches, I guess. Anyway, it's in the ground about 18 inches. And so the bottom wire is hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. And it's pushing about 8,000 volts. So, yeah, it's the best post made as far as I'm concerned. I've seen deer hit this fence as I'm driving down F here, and they'll hit this top wire and the whole post will come over to like this and it just springs right back up. If your post is solid and a deer hits it, it's a good chance you're gonna break the wire. Or you're gonna rip the post out of the ground. Or you may snap the post, depending on what kind you're using. Yeah. We built this all the way along. We've probably got, oh gosh, from there clear to the end over there, it's over half a mile, probably closer to 3/4 of a mile. And we used 20-foot spacings, and anywhere that we had a crest or a point or a dip, we would put a post there. And again, we had people critical of it. Oh, I'd use so many wooden posts and such. I'm like, well, last time I checked, I didn't ask you to pay for them. It's my fence. What are you complaining about? Well, it made them upset. I used wooden posts, as many as we did. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna have to ever have to rebuild it, and my fence stays tight. Folks, this blacktop has a bend going around that corner up there. And in a real long bend like that, you need to put them every 100 feet or your whole fence is gonna do this. It's gonna go over. Over time it will. So if you got a gradual bend, you can't just go solid timeless all the way around that corner unless you use they've got a really good brace post. It's like they call it an I-beam post. If I'd have had those, that's what I'd use, but I didn't have any. And this is what I used. And we've got some fence out where we're using some of those. So I'm gonna be doing some videos on that. We're using the A-frames for the corners. They're a lot easier to put in than a wooden H-brace, I can tell you that. And they're stout. I've got them up now for 2 years and they're still just as straight as the day I put them in. But you can see the grays we got. They took about half of this one. But we're not gonna be back here until it's recovered. So, you know, right now the grass is really taking off. We're trying to stay up with it. And so you just do the best you can. Anytime you see a manure pit like this, folks, you can tell there's been something in here working. I'm gonna rip this one open, look at that. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. Yeah. Put it back. I love looking at earthworms. Those are my workers. All this beautiful carbon. All this beautiful carbon in here. Folks, they're gonna take all that into the soil. Yeah. So, you gotta keep all this armor, this soil armor on your landscape. If you don't have soil armor, you don't have a pasture. Because when it gets hot and dry, you're not gonna have any feed for your livestock because it just won't grow. The drought will get you. You're not holding any moisture. That's the other thing about the soil armor. Yeah, there's some runoff going in down there, but you know, when you get 1.5 inches of rain on clay soils, they can only hold so much. We're at, some of our farms are up over 6% now, organic matter. We started at 0.5%. So it's coming that way. And another thing that helps us on these hills is this big blue stem. The big blue stem has an 8-foot root on it. And so it's opening up the can of the soil biology can get down and follow on those roots, and the water gets down in there deeper. And so it holds the water up on the hills better. Another thing that I noticed yesterday, we've got a pasture across that creek over there that is 90, I would say it's 90% big blue. Folks, there's no weeds in that field. The big blue is so competitive that it just doesn't let the weeds grow in it. There's no multiflora rose bushes. There's no autumn olives. There's no sprouts to speak of. I mean, it's just incredible. So, yeah, I'm a fan of big blue. I don't want 90% of it in my farm because I don't have any winter feed, but you use what's there. We grazed it this winter, and the cattle went in there and knocked a lot of it on the ground, and it just looks like you unrolled hay over there. It's just a solid mat of big blue stem, the tall grass that grew last fall. It's on the ground now feeding the earthworms. So it happened for thousands of years. You had the herd of buffalo coming across, they trampled it on the ground, ate some of it, and they left. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a great one, and we'll be seeing some of you at the grazing school coming up in May. We still have some spots available for both the beginning and the advanced grazing school, and hope to see some of y'all there. Go to greenpasturesfarm.net, the link there in our description section if you want to sign up, and have a great day and happy Easter.